I have a few minutes before I go into work, and I wanted to check in. It's been a while since I made a video. A lot of drama going on here. My stepmother recently passed, and we're dealing with that. And my girlfriend is probably going to be moving in, so there's a bit of drama with that. And it's the holidays, and we own a business, so there's that. So I've been kind of out of communication, a little busy, and just kind of not in the mood to do a YouTube video. But I wanted to comment on a Facebook, because you always do Facebook. My niece had posed a religious question, sort of, and one of the comments further down, I'll read an excerpt for you. Interesting that you are able to describe facts of the Bible in a way that modern man usually does by taking some things out of context and making them sound unbelievable. We don't need to take them out of context to make them sound unbelievable. First off. Again, I merely said that anyone who is ready to believe scientific findings should also take as much interest and effort in researching actual biblical history that even scientists have found to be true. You know, when Tom Clancy writes a book, a novel, a fictional novel, some of the facts in his books are actually true. Has nothing to do with being prophetic or anything. Has just to do with the writer taking into account the reality around them and bringing it into their story. So I don't know why you think just because it's in a book, it's true. Some things are true, and the whole taking things out of context, of course, you take them, or religious people take them out of context as well, but they take the good things out of context and leave off all the terrible, horrible atrocities and evil that God supposedly does as well. So that out of context thing is crap. There are many scientific findings that could not possibly be true, but way too many to list here. There's zero scientific findings that couldn't possibly be true. There's no findings that are untrue. If they've been found, then they're true, or their description is true. Science is mostly just a descriptive format. It's describing what we see and find. It has to, by very definition, be true. There are theories that may or may not be true, but no findings that aren't true. Down. Let's see. Just for instance, is how the Earth has been continually rotating toward the sun, according to scientists. If that were true by now, we would have all burned up from exposure by now, and faith, by definition, does not require evidence. Again, scientists are only describing what they see, continuously moving towards the sun, very slowly, incrementally moving towards the sun. Could happen over billions and trillions of years, and it would be just fine and logical. But the whole reason for this video is part of a previous comment. I'm not going to read that, but it was essentially saying that God did it. That scientists believe they have the notion of what happened at the beginning. Of what happened at the beginning, and that's incorrect. It's just an assumption, and they don't really know because they weren't there. And scientists need to not do that, and they need to look at the Bible. And my niece, of course, rightly suggested or asked or said that religious people have the same predisposition. They think they know how the beginning of the universe was created, and that God did it. I suppose just as good a theory, but it actually doesn't answer, thank you, any questions, and that is the crux of this video. God did it. A scenario: you go to see a magic show. You see some astounding magic tricks by the magician, and you don't know how it's done. Is it magic? Is it really magic? Did they really do magic? Obviously not. No one in the audience really, well, hopefully no one in the audience really believes they did magic. But let's assume for a second that it was actual magic. They did magic. And they did it, and they can repeat it over and over and over again. So what exactly is the magic? Is it magic to the magician? They know how they did it. They can do it over and over again. At that point, wouldn't it become science? If it's something you can repeat and do over and over, and you understand how it works so you can do other things based on that, that's called science. So now when any religious people say God did it, as if that's an answer. The beginning of the universe happened, God did it. Storms happened, God did it. Does that really answer any questions? My comment, or at the end here, was if I went to a mechanic and he fixed my car and charged me $1,000 to fix it, and I asked him how he did it, and he said magic, I'd punch him in the face. I want to know what and how he did it. What was the process? I don't care who did it. I want to know how. So when people say God did it and accept that as some sort of answer, I don't care who did it or what did it. Atheists, scientists, I'm going to generalize them a little bit, don't care who does something. It's nice for history and to give them people credit for discovering things, but it's not who that's the important part. It's how and what. So if you are a religious person and you ever say God did it, or you just have faith that God did it and provides blah, that doesn't answer any questions. That just says somebody else did it. It's the how that makes it important. So whether or not God created the universe makes zero difference to me. That's fine. That's a good theory. Tell me how. That is what science is all about. Observing a fact and then trying to describe how it might come to be. And saying an invisible man poofed it is not an answer ever. That's another question. Peace, I hope.